We are
Impromptu.
live.
Do pull this up real quick. Make sure we are. All right. And impromptu. Yep.
Yep.
So, since you have me for, call it 30 minutes, what would you like to address immediately, at least for this, so we have something to reference to for the next one?
Well, I'm right now. I'm just testing out the layout, and I'm not sure what to talk about.
All right.
Yeah.
I can just check some of that Jazzy was sending me. Actually, it's really nice. Camera.
Okay, the text is the right size. Okay. Alert box.
So, I'm gonna kind of go on a limb here.
Yeah.
And mention a lot of complaints about the aerial accuracy system, the flinch system, and overall the weapon sandbox currently. This might be something we resume tomorrow, obviously due to time and
Well, tomorrow we're gonna have to do it real
early because of
yeah.
work. Yeah.
Those.
My thoughts currently is that the current system is, at least for aerial accuracy, we'll talk about the flinch later. That it's generally okay. It's not great.
There's
Okay.
the accuracy stat on some of them, like it says that there's supposed to be no accuracy deviation when you're in air, and if you're spot on, you will hit the target. That is not the case for a number of weapons.
Primary and special, or just special?
Both.
Okay. Because from my experience, there's, and I'll send this your way when I'm done making this.
Like it's more of long range shots, so it's partially netcode.
Yeah, that's fair. So you have your accuracy cone, and then you have, let's say, your aim assist cone. I'm going to move this over here, right here. And essentially, I could grab, yeah, no, it's fine. And you have your line trace function, and now we all know Bungie uses projectiles instead of line trace, but let's just
For
say in a
some
perfect
reason.
world, it's just how the engine's made, and that's fine. So
Yeah, but it's still not great.
under the, I'll use screen as or blue as in like player standing. No, we need blue.
There we
So
go.
remove this over here. So I'll send you this image. And I'll see if you know how to read these, then it gets pretty simple. It's not perfect, but it's just quickly drawn. So essentially what you're looking for is you could be spot on with your accuracy angle, but these did mention that even with being 100% spot on, if you don't have 100%, you're going to miss. And it also depends on your range stat. So let's say you could be spot on, but your range stat doesn't extend to the distance that you are in, then that's where you'll start seeing aim assist deviation or even accuracy deviation.
which is
So
an
when you see,
issue.
well, I wouldn't say it's an issue. It just shows the real side effects of what gun you're using. And this is
Well,
where it gets
even
kind of
with things like Revoker in air, which has 89 range.
I can tell you that in a second. I don't remember that one off the top of my head, which is fine.
Revoker has a
So
shit ton of range and it still misses. My 100 range,
it has 98 at base.
yeah.
So nice at base it's 80 to 78, but then you put it extended barrel plus accurized plus snapshot. Yeah, so it's 98. It's pretty spot on. It's a 35 zoom, so it gets some aim assist penalty for not being a 50. Uh,
Like my included finality, which I know has 100 range. um, it it doesn't hit in air.
so and that's actually something funny. What's the what in your are you running 100 aerial accuracy?
Uh, I'm running as close to it as I can get. I'm running Icarus and Heat Rises, so pretty much,
So
yeah.
because I like to go in that by so Icarus is plus 70, so that's 73, 15. So you're 18 plus yeah, so you're running 88. Now here's the thing. Special weapons, they Bungie came out and made a note to this saying the only way you see any benefit with special weapons is if you run 100. So you needed to hit the cap in order for special weapons to be effective in air.
Well, here's the thing. What? Which exotics give any accuracy again?
Which one's at highest?
No, just in
Or,
general.
um, I don't think any. Oh, but exotics. I know Wings of Sacred Dawn gives plus 30, I believe. Um, I know what's it called? Seal Dom Carter's Grass. You can get a melee hit, and that's any melee hit.
I thought
There's one
Ophidians
that
gave me a little bit.
it gives you plus 10, correct? So if you had Heat Rises, Ophidians, Icarus unoccluded, you're running at 98, not 100. So there's still deviation.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I shouldn't need to. If I'm at 98 with 100 range on a sniper rifle with the highest zoom, I should be able to hit shots.
I think the threshold, yes, I do believe needs to be lowered a little bit. For special weapons, I believe instead of 100, like 90 is fine. 80 would be put like sort of like for entry level special weapons, like
I
just
should
getting
be
them
able to
better.
put
It should be
heat
like 80.
rises on and an Icarus, and it should be fine.
Yeah, so that's 70. That's plus 75 or close to 80. Yeah, so that's
For me,
fine.
I
80.
feel like just heat rises because do you know how much heat rises nerfs your jump?
So the the reason why Bungie came out and made this change, at least from what they've said, is that they wanted to see more primary gunfights be beneficial with the movement tech.
Yeah, but even
And
with the movement tech, primaries don't hit in air.
so, and that's another thing. So, in order to get the most adequate
Like you still
in-air
need
accuracy
like
stat,
near 100 to get.
70 to 75 is where I find the most success. And that's where they want you to sit. So, like for example, if I'm running
Yeah, but that's
Devils,
like heavy build into.
yep, and that was unfortunately, I say unfortunately, that is what they want people to do. Is that you either build into it or you kind of take a hit. And generally, the soft
But here's the
path.
thing. They said 35 was roughly the same as Icarus Group in the past. That's
Well,
not true.
so they said that it was going to be similar to Icarus Script, but with more aim assist drop off.
Yeah, but even if your
So,
reticle's on the same point, you still
and that's where we
miss.
start running into some of the netcode issues.
But it's not just netcode, because some of the time I'm like barrel snuffing the asshole with my sidearm, and you know sidearms have high inherent airborne effectiveness. So
Which one were you using out of curiosity?
I was using. I've noticed it on Trespasser. I've noticed it on Terrain, and I've
Oh,
noticed it on
interesting.
Traveler's Chosen.
So what's funny is that all of those have pretty high airborne accuracy stats.
Yeah,
Trespasser has 29, Traveler Chosen having the highest at 35, and then Drank having a base of 18, I believe.
I've
No,
even
21.
seen it when I'm ADSing with Skyburner's Oath with Heat Rises on.
Mm. Now, this is gonna sound kind of stupid, because I know Trespasser kind of breaks this rule. But what are the stability? You're running pretty high stability on some of these sidearms, correct? Yeah,
My
you are.
terrain has
Okay.
68.
Yeah, you're fine. So that wouldn't be part of the issue because I was thinking maybe it's because of
Like
aim assist
I'm
being like
using Traveler's Chosen,
yeah,
Trespasser, and terrain, and
those are fine. I was just double
and
checking because
Skyburner's
sometimes
Oath fucking tracks, so it's not stability.
the easiest solution I believe they could implement is lowering the thresholds.
Yeah,
Like
but the thing is, there have been increasing netcode issues for the past, like, since Witchqueen dropped. So something's going on the back end that they don't want us to know.
that can happen in between patches or during patches where they'll do some form of network change or network update
Yeah,
and would affect yeah.
because
Also,
with the
funny thing.
like I said, the introduction of glaives has severely fucked over the entire melee system with its hit registration,
Hmm.
and it isn't even benefiting glaives because glaives are suffering even more than normal melees.
Hmm.
So that's something to do with the netcode and how they programmed melees. They they fucked with something so intrinsic to the game, and they didn't quality test it enough. Because if they
Hmm.
quality tested it for like more than 6 months, people would have noticed the increase in short stopping, the ghost melees, the increased number of those.
Hmm.
And it's not even like it's not short stopping. It's you hit the person on your screen and on their screen, and no damage.
Yeah, that's just been having issues with me too when I was playing.
Um, Glaives have registration issues in target priority, like I said before. They prioritize the barricades over people for some reason,
Hmm.
which is kind of weird. So, like, they're messing with some core parts of the game, and it doesn't seem like they're ready to deal with the ramifications of doing that.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me as much as it does to you on why things are behaving the way they are.
And it's not purely peer to peer shit, because
Yeah, no.
I'm betting we'll still get some of this issue with,
In the future.
like, even if we were LAN connected somehow and playing Destiny.
Well, like I play connected to my
No,
Wi-Fi.
like I mean,
Oh, like literally, yes.
yeah, literally LAN connected somehow we have a Destiny client, like a raw Destiny server, all to our own on one of our machines, and we're directly connected to each other, I would say that we would still have some of these melee issues, and
Hmm.
probably some of these inborn airborne accuracy issues.
Right. I think, like I said, I think the easiest solution right now is just to lower the threshold. But I was messing around with something.
Yeah, for airborne
Um,
accuracy, but how the fuck do you fix the melee changes without just deleting glaives?
that is true. So here's something funny. Igneous Hammer, and this is, not adept because it doesn't really make a difference. Actually, it kind of does because you
Adept
get energy.
Icarus.
Well, Adept Icarus doesn't do anything else. It's they're both plus 15. So Adept Icarus is nothing. Um, so base Igneous is 23. Thrown Icarus grip, it's plus 15, so now it's 38. But then there's, as you know, there's exotics. Um, and you could use Lucky Pants because you get opening shot and plus 20 inner accuracy for 5 seconds, basically. Or you could use Foot Tracer, which is plus 20 permanently. Um, However, that's just for hand cannon, so that puts it at 58.
Also, the fact
And
that some exotics aren't working right now, cough cough Pilgrims, for their
sometimes.
in for their inner accuracy bonuses. Like the actual exotic perk still works, thank
Yeah.
God. But like there's issues.
So what's funny is like there's something like the BXR, right? And it has plus 10, which hurts. But what's really funny is you throw on blunt execution rounds, and then you throw on the hunter gauntlets for melee. You get plus 50
Which
for every time you get
ones?
a melee. The sealed arm Kar's grasp. So we
Yeah.
get melee hit, you get plus 50. So now you're at plus 60. Icarus script now says puts at 25 plus 60 plus 85. So for every time you get a melee hit with blunt execution rounds, or you get blunt execution rounds, which means you get 2 times the damage with better aerial accuracy. You could stake that a step further. You could put Killing Wind or Perpetual Motion.
I wish
I'd prefer
perpetual
Killing.
motion not do inner accuracy.
That would be really cool, honestly.
I know they put this whole air assault thing, but here's the thing: if you're critically wounded inside the air, you're dead.
Unless you have a sidearm. That's
And
my hot take.
and having air assault just be a sidearm perk is not a good idea.
No, it's not. Speaking of which, Forgiven or Forgiveness, it shouldn't have been an aggressive burst.
I actually like the aggressive burst. But it needs better perks. That's the thing.
That's true. That's true. My favorite aggressive burst right now, actually, that I've been working towards, completely unrelated, is empirical evidence.
Oh, I've been trying to level that up as well.
Um, I have a few roles that I'm looking for, but my main
You
one,
know, you can just fucking craft it.
yeah, I'm working on crafting it. Um, is here, do this. Was it, did I go for a flare? I think I did this. I don't know, but essentially the last 3 perks, including masterwork, is ricochet, encore, adagio, with a reload masterwork, and I was gonna throw that on with trick sleeves. So essentially, adagio gives me a 20% damage bonus to my sidearm. Encore says precision gives me 10 range, up to 30, and on non-precision kills, it gives me accuracy cone benefits and plus 30 stability. So it either affects my ability to hit further, or it affects my consistency and anti-flinch. On top of that, kills in general just give me a faster time to kill, which stacks with trick sleeves, 33% damage, and then ricochet rounds for the stability, obviously, and so on and so forth. Not a bad gig. And what's even better is that I can throw an Icarus grip, 36 plus 50. That's 86. I'm sitting very cozy.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely would be. It's just a better forgiveness in my opinion. Um, which I think you and I already knew. It's not like like even from the stats department, forgiveness is really good.
Adept weapons should be a step down from pinnacle weapons.
But like here's the thing,
The
right? If I use
thing
forgiveness,
is, the issue with forgiveness is that imagine if you would a sidearm with BXR.
sidearm with BXR.
Yeah. Sidearm with blocking execution rounds.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Or
Well,
maybe.
here's something funny though. I'm reading the air assault perk, and it functions mostly like Eye of the Storm, where it grants up to 60 airborne. So you don't need to be critical to get the maximum benefits. You
Yeah,
need to be
but the
critical,
thing
but
is, if you're getting rapidly shot in air,
I don't know why, but something's tickling me. See, this is the problem. Is that for me, I could use this all day. I have trick sleeves, so for me, there's no downside.
yeah. But for the average person that isn't a Devil's Ruin main with trick sleeves,
Yeah, this is it's a weird perk because they don't. There's for the average player playing at low health is just not normal.
especially in air,
Yeah, it's not something that's,
is
and I get
it
that.
is actively detrimental to your KD and your objective play. Oh yeah, I'm gonna jump while I'm critically wounded.
I wouldn't think I would do that. I think it's a very situational thing because
It's too situational. Like
like
you
one thing I'm
wouldn't
looking.
use it on a fucking scout rifle.
No, you wouldn't.
You
I just
wouldn't
think air
use
assault
it.
works better on
You
an
wouldn't
SMG. It'd
use
be
it
melee
on an
damage.
auto rifle. It's basically an SMG hand cannon or sidearm perk, purely.
What's funny though is that if we understood, and this is something we'd have to test, um, is the scalar of because like we have videos on Eye of the Storm of how much it grants per health. It gets tighter as you get lower. So if you understand those thresholds, then we can say 50% health grants you X, you know, 25 and so on and so forth. Or
Yeah, but
you know,
here's the thing. I do not want to have a data sheet just for when I know that I can jump and my bullets will actually hit or have a higher probability of actually hitting.
see what would be really nice is if something like Air Assault had like an enhanced version where it changed the threshold of which it was at most or most prominent. And then you on top of that have for me, as you know, I'm a big advocate for replacing targeting mods. Let's say you want higher airborne effectiveness stat on your gun, but you already used Icarus, then you have to give up a targeting mod slot to put an airborne effectiveness slot. It seems stupid, but if you want to have a
I
sniper,
would
for
put it in the same area as unflinching.
oh, that's interesting. Yeah, could they run unflinching and airborne, or would they have to give it up?
I mean, depending on how they're built, people have
That's true.
targeting mod and another thing inside their helmets, and they just get rid of all the other mods.
Um, I think it'd be cool to have some like at least just one small additional thing to kind of bump it up. Um, but yeah, I do agree. Like having more ways to kind of just one additional way would be nice, or even like more exotics that have the capability to do so. Like for example,
You know
I
what
was
would
thinking,
solve a lot of hit registration issues?
hmm,
If Bungie entered 2010 and 2011 in technology, a good decade plus from modern day, and
hmm,
actually made fucking dedicated servers.
that'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we're using 90s tech for our 2022 MMO.
You know, but the fact that it's still working is amazing.
Don't praise them for being slothful.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I couldn't help myself there. But this is something that's got me thinking, right? You know, let's
And
say because we
yes,
now
I
know.
know Bungie developer that won't comment on this stream. Yes, I know there's only so many people in the studio currently working on Destiny. Yes, I know you have 3 to 4 other IPs and probably 2 to 3 TV shows or movies or any other bullshit that Sony's throwing at you to make. Yes, I know there's only like probably 200 people actually thinking about Destiny, and there's only about like 20 people actually thinking about this season. But hear me out for a second. Destiny is your biggest fucking cash cow. It's funding all that bullshit. The least you could do
Keep it alive.
is give us the bare minimum of modern tech.
Would see. I'm kind of peeking around on D2 Gunsmith, but like going back to your idea of unflinching, and even targeting, is that we now know snapshot on sniper rifles, for example, are tied to the handling stat. So the only way you get a faster ADS through snapshot is building through handling. And sometimes the best way to do that is through a adept version. And what's funny is even with the where is it? Oh, come on, give me the adept handling, you dumb retard. You'd have to, in order to get the maximum benefits, you would need to run adept handling to get snapshot. Now, the thing is, that's if you want the targeting mod. But then again, you'd be better off just running Icarus on it, if I could find that. And that gives you plus 20. So let's say you run 20 from your Eye of Soul. Then you have another, let's say it gives you another 10 from the mod. I don't know. And it costs 5 energy. It's not bad. And then you run whatchamacallit. I'm thinking of the exotic, what's it called? The Foe Tracer. So there's another 20. So you get 50 under in-air accuracy on a sniper rifle. Okay, so that's a pretty low threshold. Like 50 should be a pretty low threshold for special weapons. But that should be like your quote unquote Icarus threshold. Although I prefer it to be 60, but that's just my hot take. I think 50, if they were to pick a value, that should be your lowest for a special weapon. And then 70 would be like your, you're getting there, and then your 100 would be like your perfect, obviously. So kind of the same like primaries, but it's got to be a little more challenging to get to that limit. Like for example, you have Drang, which gets there pretty easily. You could so much as breathe. Like for example, just throw on Icarus, you have 36, and then your only other option is Foe Tracer, which is 56. Sealed on Kar's Grasp, which is another 50 for melee, situational, and then Trick Sleeves, and then Oath Keepers for 40 for bows. Which is funny, like the best bow now, for aerial accuracy purposes, I believe, is Wishender. I could be wrong
Fuck?
though. No, my apologies, Trinity Goal.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, my apologies. The best one for anti-flinch is Wishender. And it's the closest one you'll get in terms of
It's
aerial
the
accuracy.
it's the best exotic. You can build in on some recurve bows to I think the last wish bow can get you to 100 stability.
Tyranny of Heaven.
Yeah, I think so.
So that one, it's probably one of my favorites too, actually.
I don't use
Um,
tyranny of heaven. I don't really care for anti-flinch on a bow. I just because I usually am using it as a initial shot.
well, the thing is, it's also a lightweight frame. But some of the best parts about this thing. Oh, geez, it's actually pretty cool. Yeah, you can do some really gnarly stuff with this. Hold up. Stability. And then I guess you could do sneak bow. Explosive head on, and it's actually really on bows are actually really nice. So
Mm.
you'd have to find a way to increase the draw time dramatically. Or charge time, yeah, so charge time 36. But then that would solve. But then your high impact bows also do. What's it called? It's one I like using a lot. It's the Iron Banner one.
When is
That,
stag?
yeah, funny enough, I actually like that one.
It's,
So
it's pretty decent.
for this one, this is precision frame, and the impact's different too, so I gotta keep that in mind. So yeah, 68 versus 74. So if there ever was a way to increase the impact on it, which you can't,
They wouldn't allow that.
yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
There's a reason why there's a draw time masterwork and not a impact masterwork. Because if you could put impact masterwork on a precision frame, well,
Yeah, then it gets nutty. That's unfortunate. But in a nutshell, it'd be pretty cool to see them make bow. Like bows become slightly more relevant because they get the best anti-flinch, and they also become pretty good in air when you start throwing on Oath Keepers, which is why something like, and this is keep in mind Arc 3.0 isn't out yet, but um, Trinity Ghoul, for all intents and purposes, with Apply Catalyst. The catalyst essentially says any arc ability kills, procs, forked lightning.
any arc kills.
Sorry, any lightning rod nurture any arc damage final blows, and that plot splits electron. Um, sorry, my apologies.
Which
Lightning
means you
rod, which
can, like, shoot an arc rocket launcher and you get it.
pretty much. And actually, I had a friend of mine. His name's James, and he would always do this, where he'd get an arc ability kill through skip grenades, and then he would be infinitely be able to fuck lightning rod because it would just chain everything. And it was just an entire thing, but it was so good. But when you started looking at Arc 3.0 plus Oath Keepers, I wouldn't be surprised if this became really good. Risk Runner becomes very good, but I'm just saying from a bow perspective, it has, even though it's 45 stability. I'll put this in perspective. Let me pull up my sheet here. Um,
Getting a bit too much into build crafting there, my friend.
I know. I enjoy this a little bit, just a tiny bit. You know, it's not like I get to do this that often.
Yeah, of course you don't. It's,
So
it's not like I've seen your spreadsheets or anything.
who does? Um, so unfortunately, you're only getting 30%, but that's only with one mod. If you throw it in two, then you get another. Then this is where I think like something like Wish Under gets a bigger benefit because it goes to 90, and that goes to 48 with two tier 6 resilience, and there you go. But that's with a bow. What's funny is that if you go into something like, actually there are bows that have no distractions on them. I'm pretty sure. Bow with no distractions. Apply filters. Yes, there is. Haha. So one bow that I really like, and it's from Garden of Salvation First Encounter, I believe. No distractions and rapid hit. As funny as that sounds. Or you could draw a simple rapid hit, but preferably no distractions. And then you could do is do Yes. Carbon arrow shaft with tactile string. Throw on a handling masterwork question mark or accuracy. I'll probably do accuracy on that one. Throw on Icarus grip on that bad boy. So now you're sitting at 65 aerial, 63 stability before rapid hit, and then every two kills is gonna put you at 12 stability. Or every two hits gonna put you at 12 stability. So at that point, you're sitting at 75, and that's before 75 with no distractions, plus 2 mods, you're looking at 64% at tier 6 resilience. And that's huge. Even at base with just like the 63, you're sitting at 62% with the double unflinching. With one, you're sitting with unflinching, you're sitting at 57. So if you'd really want the two to really bump you up. So overall, I would not sleep on the idea of just maxing it out from as much as you can, because at the end of the day, the better you're able to get into this. Because keep in mind, flinch affects your bow, because bows are projectiles. Stability affects your bow's air angle. There's nothing wrong with doing that, and it's kinetic. So you can pair it with some pretty gnarly things. Another one, obviously, that already has all this kind of built into it is, funny enough, Point of the Stag, No Distraction, Die of the Storm. Another great perk set. Would recommend it that if you just want to pull out something quick and easy. And then Biting Winds, which comes with no distractions. And you could argue Rangefinder and Swashbuckler. And that in itself gets really nasty because it kills Swashbuckler with melee, then says, okay, I can one shot plus the anti-flinch, and so on and so forth. So, doesn't matter. Just went on a tangent about bows because bows are really strong and no one uses them. So, my apologies. Also, the smell of Mike and Ike's at 11 o'clock at night. Oh, best thing ever, let me tell you. So, anyways, I think we should decrease the threshold for secondary weapons and give more options for primary weapons. I think that's my big solution for now. Could change in the future. So, anyways, but yeah, in terms of melee, in terms of everything else, strippers are needed. Anything else?
I can't really think of anything.
I mean, thankfully, this was more of just a test stream.
Yeah.
So, oh, do you want me to send you pictures of the setup?
Sure.
Alrighty. I think I should probably do myself a favor here and briefly turn off my monitors. And so you can kind of see the entire thing. If it lets me. You can still hear me, right? I'm assuming you can hear me.
Yep.
Okay. Kind of hard to get pictures because... Okay. One more picture. There we go. Yeah, so I'll just do that, and then I'll just turn this back on. Now that is all done. And I will send you, as my computer says, no you. But yeah, and in that summary, I think once we get better talking points, it'll
It'll
definitely
flow
something.
more easily.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to spit ideas out of wall. So
Do we have the same fucking keyboard?
the Razer Sinosa?
No.
Yeah, I have Sinosa. I think you might have to have the in your one.
I have a Corsair one.
Oh, yeah, no,
It's just a similar layout.
mm-hmm.
You
I
have your
normally don't like
you have your
mixing brands.
PC elevated.
What was that?
You have your PC elevated.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it used to be at my feet, and what ended up happening is that since it was underneath my feet, under my desk, it was collecting a lot of dust.
Ah.
So that, and I couldn't necessarily gauge my temperature on it because I have like a setup where it could tell me how hot or cold.
Yeah, I just have IQ and it works.
Yeah, same here. So yeah, now it does all that. And as you can tell, no issues so far.
So
So
far. Well, I'm gonna wrap this stream up and then
yep.